Hello everyone and welcome to a Gunpla Network News Special Report. As always, I'm your host, The Spicer, and today's report is brought to you by Canadian Gundam. Canadian Gundam is your one-stop shop for all your Gunpla and plamo needs here in North America. When checking their catalog and placing your order, don't forget to use the promo code Gunpla Network for 10% off. Starting us off, we have the 1/35th scale Batmobile Batman version plastic model, with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 4,180 Japanese yen. This version of the Batmobile comes from 1989's Michael Keaton-Tim Burton film Batman. This is an iconic look for the Batmobile and one of the more striking silhouettes the vehicle has ever taken on. We also have the 1/35th scale Batmobile Batman Begins version plastic model, releasing in March 2022 and a price tag of 4,180 Japanese yen. This version of the Batmobile, being very distinctive, comes from the Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale universe of Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Returns. This much more realistic, militaristic look at the Batmobile is some people's preferred cup of tea when it comes to this vehicle. We also have the 30-minute mission sister SIS AC-25G Faru Farina conductor form, with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 3,300 Japanese yen. This very aesthetic donned 30-minute mission sister sports an interesting set of weapons with a really cool looking long lance on a subarm, as well as a pretty cool looking shield. This is definitely one of the more striking of the 30-minute mission sister kits. We also have the PokéPla Cinderace, with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 1,320 Japanese yen. This fire-type Pokemon comes to us from Gen. It's definitely one of the more unique-looking fire-type Pokemon out there. We also have the Figurized Standard Amplified Beelzemon, with a release date of January 2022 and a price tag of 4,950 Japanese yen. It gets to represent one of the 7 deadly sins, and that being the sin of gluttony. This incredibly lanky looking Digimon also sports some really cool handguns. We also have the Figurized Standard Magnamon, with a release date of February 2022 and a price tag of 2,530 Japanese yen. This warrior-type Digimon is very striking with its gold armor, as its armor digivolves into this form. It is one of the Royal Knight Digimon, making it one of the most powerful Digimon in all of the land, just under that of potentially the Holy Knights. We also have the high-grade 1/72nd scale Nuren, with a release date of February 2022 and a price tag of 2,640 Japanese yen. The striking red mass production machine comes to us from Kyokai Senki, Sunrise's upcoming cool new mecha series that's not Gundam, but looks to be kind of like its offshoot mecha show for this season, I suppose. It belongs to the Asian Free Trade Corporation and is a mass-produced unit. This isn't, at least so far, designated to a individual pilot, so it's not a custom coloration. This is just what the mass-produced versions look like, which is really interesting and it looks really cool. We also have the high-grade 1/72nd scale Brandy Hound, with a release date of January 2022 and a price tag of 2,640 Japanese yen. This is also coming from Sunrise's production, Kyokai Senki, and the Brandy Hound is designed by Kantaki Ebikawa, who has designed a lot of the designs from the series, as they're all very mechanical looking. This is a grunt suit from the North American Alliance Army, and dons a much more militaristic look. We also have the high-grade 1/72nd scale Brandy Hound Blood type, with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 2,750 Japanese yen. This is also coming from Sunrise's Kyokai Senki, and this is based off of the Brandy Hound, the North American Alliance Army's grunt suit, but it is a custom type, so I don't know if this is going to be a commander or someone like that, an ace pilot potentially, We don't 100% know, but it is really cool, and it's blue, so it kind of gives us some Rumbarall vibes. Speaking of Kyokai Senki though, we also have the Full Mechanics 1/48 scale Kenbu, and the first production has a limited run of clear armor parts. This has a release date of January 2022 with a price tag of 5,280 Japanese yen. This is really cool that we're getting something this big. So far we've only seen the high grade and the robot Damashi version of the Kenbu, so it's nice to get something a little bigger, maybe closer to master grade scale, and of course the Full Mechanics line is great for that. It's nice to see some of the additional benefits as well as some little gimmicks of getting the pilot figure into the cockpit and a couple of different armor parts here and there that don't really show up too much on the high grade, so really nice to get to see the detail and the extra gimmicks. We also have the entry grade Strike Gundam with a release date of January 2022 with a price tag of 770 Japanese yen. The GAT X-105 Strike Gundam is absolutely one of the most distinct looking Gundams in all of the whole Gundam franchise. If you ask a non-Gundam fan, they'll either tell you, hey, I recognize the RX-78-2 or the Strike Gundam or the Freedom Gundam. So it is a very important design, and it's very understandable to follow up the RX-78-2 in this line. I really liked the Gramps Gundam in the entry grade line, so I'm really excited to see what the Strike Gundam comes out looking like. We also have the SD World Heroes Saizo Gundam Delta Kai with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 660 Japanese yen. While I don't detect a ton of Delta Kai from this kit, it is a really nice striking design with a lot of white and purple. I always like some kind of monochromatic looking Gundams, and this is definitely going for that aesthetic. We also have the Master Grade 1/100 Dom with a release date of February 2022 and a price tag of 5,500 Japanese yen. The MS-09B Dom is a Xeon ground-type mobile suit that uses a fast-moving hover system on its feet, so not only can it outpace much smaller mobile suits, it can pretty much outpace just about anything on the ground, at least that is going to be damaging or dangerous to a mobile suit. We also have the Master Grade 1/100 Rick Dom with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 5,500 Japanese yen. The Rick Dom comes to us from Mobile Suit Gundam just like the Dom does, and it is an upgraded version of the Dom for use in space. It has a slightly new coloration, some new internal vernier units, and an enlarged backpack and rear skirt. The soles of the Rick Dom's feet are precisely expressed with mechanical detail, and all of the extra verniers are also there. Since this is a space use mobile suit, it's going to have a little bit more thrust to it to get it through space. It also comes with its beam bazooka, its giant buzz, and its heat saber. We also have the high resolution model 1/100 scale Gundam Astray Red Frame Powered Red with a release date of March 2022 and a price tag of 17,600 Japanese yen. The MBF-PO2 Gundam Astray Red Frame Powered Red is a really interesting take on the red frame. With its skipped everything but armed day look, it can wield the 150 Gabera Straight, which is probably the biggest boy of big boy swords in Gundam. It's just a massive Gabera Straight. That's all we need to know. It's a big sword. It's big sword. We also have the real grade 1/144 scale Gundam Base Limited Xeon Clear Color version with a release date of October 2021 and a price tag of 6,050 Japanese yen. The MSN-02 Xeon comes to us from Mobile Suit Gundam and is featured in the final battle of the series, the Battle of Abaoku. Char Aznable pilots the machine, as it's only 80% complete as it has no legs, but you don't really need legs in space. It is also one of the first units on screen we see to utilize a full Psychomu system, and it gives Amuro and the RX-78-2 a very tough time in that final battle. We also have the PBandai Master Grade 1/100 Shin Musha Sengoku no Jin Kuroko Owari the release date of January 2022, and a price tag of 10,450 Japanese yen. This is the Shinmusha Gundam, but in a much darker tone, and it's kind of cool that the Shinmusha is making a comeback. It's a fairly old kit, and, well, being fairly distinctive looking, doesn't get a lot of, like, new releases. So, it's kind of neat that it's here. I think this is just a recolored re-release, so probably no big changes internally, but if there are, that's cool as well. We also have the PBandai Figurized Standard Amplified Imperialdramon Paladin mode. With no release date or price announced yet, we will be looking to the future for those. But Imperialdramon in the Paladin mode is an ancient dragon Digimon. In its original form, it's Imperialdramon with the power of the Holy Knight Omnimon. If you remember watching the Digimon movie as a kid, if you're a kid from the 90s, there you go, Omnimon, but now with Imperialdramon, making him a legendary Holy Knight Digimon. And that has been it for this special report. A ton of news came out, a lot of Kyokai Senki stuff, which I'm very excited to see. I can't wait for the series to start so I can see if I like these designs in practice, or if they're a little ambitious to say the least. And it's cool that we're getting master grades of the Dom and the Rick Dom. But I have to say, honestly, one of the things I'm most excited about, other than the entry grade strike, which I'm actually super hyped for, are the Batmobiles. I would love to see more model kits of stuff like this that maybe don't require cement or paint, or not cement or paint, cement or super glue or anything of that nature. Just having kind of a snap build, nice looking Batmobile of some version. This is great. I would love a version from the animated series. That's probably my number one, with the Michael Keaton Tim Burton Batman Batmobile in number 2. In those comments, let us know, of course, what you're excited about. A ton of stuff dropped, so there's a lot to pick from. And of course, be sure to check out our other content here on YouTube. We've got a lot of different reviews, the news, of course, some lore stuff, and we're branching into a few new areas as well. As always, friends, I've been the Spicer. Please stay safe and keep on building.